Okay, the new pilots class, February 26th, 2018. These are the words that came up. Okay, so we had a contact point, this one. Do you know anybody in that company? Do you have a contact point? Or I say, do you know anybody who works at that airport? Do you have a contact point? Someone to contact, someone you know. Go-to person is usually, the person who helps you, right? Who's the go-to person for scheduling? Oh, that's Dahe. Okay. Go-to person is also the person that you trust. At the end of the basketball game, you can pass to Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, or you can pass to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's your go-to man. Damim, homeroom. This is something middle school students say. Who's your homeroom teacher? Right. You can also say the person in charge of that operation. The person in charge for that type of thing is whoever, right? Squeamish. Kyung-ho had this. Kim Kyung-ho. He said this word yesterday. Don't show him any blood. He's very squeamish. He'll faint. He'll pass out. He will pass out. Wansu came up and asked about sombe hube. Usually this is an adjective in English, so we want to say like he was my senior officer, or in a company senior manager. If he's your friend, he's my older friend. He's 2 years older than me. You can also usually sometimes we say upperclassman too, but I've had other Americans say, yeah, we didn't really say that, but I used it in high school, right? Oh, that guy, he's an upperclassman. Older. They don't say things like that. They wouldn't necessarily agree with that. I can't remember yesterday someone asked a question and I said, well, maybe Andrea wouldn't say that, or she wouldn't necessarily agree with that, my definition. I think the word stumped maybe. Also Wansu, hey, that's what I was trying to say. I wanted to say that. That's what I wanted to say. Also, to Wansu, I explained gaslighting. Now, 15, 20 years ago, we didn't really use this term. So, this is like, let's say a woman goes to the police and she says, I was attacked. And they don't believe her, or they want to change her mind. So they tell her, come on, that didn't really happen, did it? You weren't really angry, were you? They put doubt, or, it's kind of like you turn on the gas in your house, and you start thinking, you start getting confused and thinking differently. Right? You wouldn't recommend momomo ing. Would you recommend getting a master's degree in aviation? Want to? Yes? Okay, I'm going to do that. Right. I agree. I would agree. I said there's two meanings here. I agree. Very strong. I agree. But I would agree. I think there's two meanings here. One is very polite. Sir, I would agree. Because he or she's the boss. I'm not the boss. Second meaning is like 85, 90%, 95%. I would agree with that. Maybe you have a good idea, but someone's not listening. Try to sell it to them. Try to convince them. Convince, formal. Sell, maybe informal, or maybe annoying. To find out, to look for, to find. Find out, other people know, but you don't know. Look for, you don't know where it is. Hey, where's my pen? Where are my keys? Where's my phone? Find, I am finding it is not the best. Now, find is something maybe more spiritual, or like the young 20-year-old girl says to her mom in America, I'm going out to California. I don't know who I am. I'm going to find myself. Has like a spiritual meaning, or something really important. Now, I also had Finding Nemo, right? And one of my Colombian friends asked, why is it Finding Nemo? And why is it not like looking for Nemo? Because really looking for is best. Where's Nemo? I don't know. Let's look for him. But find is more like a journey or spiritual journey. Now we do say, hey, I found it. Hey, did you find your pen? Yeah, I found it. No, I haven't found it. I'm still looking for it. Okay. Again, between English and Korean, there's some words have many meanings, right? And I think, what was it? Jeho or Junsup or maybe Idu Hwan. We talked about this one, like nunchi ruboda. Sorry about the pronunciation there. But, this has, if you put this into Naver Dictionary, it has many meanings. So you can say, like Mark said in the video, you're trying to read someone. You're trying to get a read on someone. Like, you look at them. What's he thinking? What's he going to do? Right? Glance over at is okay also. But glance over at is more for maybe like in the workplace. Like there's two people. Oh, they liked each other. They were always stealing glances at every chance they got. Kind of romantic. They were always looking over at each other, side to side, looking up at each other, looking at their computer screen. I told a story about this expression in Spain and how we say, like the teachers there were always asking, how do we say que fuerte in English? Because, Spanish people, let's say they see a car accident. Oh, there's lots of blood. That's terrible. In English, American English, that's terrible. That's horrible. But they would say, how strong? So I went home and I asked my mom. I went back to the United States. I said, Mom, if someone said, how strong, what would you think? And, kind of as a joke, she said, oh, I would think of a gay guy drinking tea. Or maybe food, you eat it. Go for it. Rock and roll, rock on. Just like fighting. Fighting over here, we say, go for it. You can do it. Rock on. Nobody really says fighting back home. Let's do this. Rock and roll. Hekpotan. Nuclear bomb. But for bomb in English, we would say oh, I bombed the test. I failed the test. But for your hair, because in Korea, if somebody has crazy hair, it looks like a nuclear bomb, like a mushroom cloud. You'd say, oh, your hair looks like you stuck it in a light socket. I didn't really write this right. Stuck it in a light socket, right? I also told another story about stick to him like glue. We were in the Czech Republic playing frisbee or basketball or something, and one of the Czech players shouted out, stick to him like butter. Like butter? No, we say stick to him like glue. But for them, butter's sticky. For us in English, butter up somebody is the verb. Hey, Team Jangnim, you look pretty good today. Can I have some vacation time? Are you trying to butter me up? He is a kiss up. That's the person. The verb is kiss up to, hello, sir, your tie looks really good. Butter someone's like that, you're being nice to somebody. And then she says, are you trying to butter me up? Do you want something? Do you want more vacation time? You want some free food? You can say brown noser, but, this term's kind of strong for me. So, flatterer, right? Or to flatter. Oh, that's so flattering. Actually, flattering is the best form of charm, right? Medveji, a wild boar, a wild pig. I have a picture here. If you put that into Google Images, that's what you get. Now, in Arkansas, Bill Clinton's home state, they have a university, and their mascot is the Arkansas Razorbacks. The deer in the headlights look. You say something to somebody, and they don't believe you. They just look at you like, oh my gosh, ugh. Now, in Black Panther, they do use this one. He's got that antelope in the headlights look going on, right? But we don't really say that. It's usually used for this. I told her, and she was like, oh, my God. Or, in class, you're like, huh? What? Happy. We also had peppy. Maybe in the morning you have, a little bit of extra energy. And I say, why do you have that extra pep in your step? Oh, last night somebody told me that I really did a good job, and they were happy. All right. Oh, you look so peppy this morning. Again, on a scale of 1 to 10, that word's only a 3 or 4. Maybe a 4. But in American high schools, they often have pep rallies. Thursday, before a big game on Friday, the cheerleaders get together and they sing songs, right? A-level exams. Okay, I was so smart when I was younger. I did 4 A-level exams. And this is British, and I didn't really know what this was until I went there, and they were always talking about it. Because I think when they are 16 or 17 or 18 years old, they do these exams. America, we go to high school, and we have freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. We also have that in university, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. But Canadians have told me that they don't usually say it for high school, just university. This juke, rice porridge. When I first came to Korea, I did not like rice porridge. It's also called gruel, and I showed you a picture of that gruel. But that's kind of the older term. It was a grueling 3-month course. Now, usually, a lot of times we'll say brutal. How was the flight? It was brutal. Like this guy. Remember Brutus? Brutus from Popeye? He's not a nice guy. It was brutal. You hardly put a dent in it. Means you didn't get much done. So you give your child food. He only eats 2 bites. You say, you didn't eat much. You hardly put a dent in it, right? Or maybe you have a sledgehammer. You're working all day. All right, this guy over here, wow, he's been working on that. He hardly even put a dent in it. Now this guy really put a dent in it. All right. There's also a Steve Jobs quote, because Steve Jobs wanted to be effective. He wanted to change things. We're here to put a dent in the universe. Otherwise, why are we even here? That's one of his quotes. Kidada, have a seizure, freak out, flip out. Why are you so angry? You're freaking out. You're flipping out. The medical term is have an epileptic seizure. All right, but again, this isn't, it's kind of joking or kidding. This is a serious thing. We also say seize up or freeze up. Wow, I was taking the test and I just froze up. I was taking the test and my whole body seized up. I couldn't move. I was swimming and I just kind of stopped and I couldn't move. After hours, after the class, who was it? Sangsu, I think, maybe. Some of those guys, they stayed and talked, and I said I was trying to remember this word, memorize, engulf. The plane was and we had, remember this? The building was engulfed in flames. Or this case, the wing was engulfed in flames, right?